Hi guys, Darth Deuces here, back on the Star Wars 3¼ inch figure review. Today, taking a look at something I recently got off of eBay. It's a figure I've been interested in for a while. It is the Kota's Militia Elite from one of the Force Unleashed 5 packs from 2009 Legacy Collection. They released 2 of them. I actually owned one of them at one point, but I've gotten rid of a lot of the figures from it, unfortunately. This is a figure from the one I didn't get. And it's a cool figure. It wasn't like a super high priority on my list because it's not like a crazy important character or anything like that. But especially ever since I got Kota, like last year or whenever I did, I've wanted to get at least one of these guys to go with them. And now I got one. Found one for a pretty decent price, and I really like these guys a lot. I really like the concept of Kota having his own militia instead of using the clone troopers. And I like the design of the militia. They are definitely reminiscent of the rebel troopers, at least in the Legends continuity. Kota's militia makes up some of the early rebel alliance troopers, so the armor is somewhat similar, although there is a decent amount of differences as well, especially for the militia elite here. Unfortunately, they never did any of the other variants. It would have been cool if they did, but at least we got any of them at all, I suppose. But taking a closer look, you can see they are wearing a helmet, somewhat reminiscent of the Fleet Trooper, but a bit different, a bit smaller. I like the orange paint emblems or decals that are on the helmet. That's pretty cool. And I really like the orange visor. I think that looks really dope as well. And I like we can see the head sculpt's eyes through the translucent orange pretty clearly. So that's cool. It does have a little neck strap, or chin strap, sorry, that goes around the figure, has some paint there. You can remove the helmet, which is honestly pretty cool. It's just like a standard, pretty generic looking head with a black crew cut, but it looks good for just being like a generic dude. Doesn't need to be much more than that. Definitely didn't have to make the helmet removable, but cool that they did, and it just goes on pretty easily. You might have to fumble with the chin strap a little bit, but yeah, it goes on, looks pretty good. The rest of the figure looks nice. The chest piece has a lot of a bit of a black wash there, which is nice for make the figure look a bit grittier, which is cool. And I like the dark brown of like the tunic and the fatigues. Shoulder pads are nice. Something that's kind of weird is these are actually removable. They plug in via a little peg and a little hole on the arm. So if you want to, you can actually take the shoulder pads off. I don't really know why you'd want to do this. I mean, maybe if you've got multiples of these guys, you could kind of take some off of them or take one off of them to maybe make them all look a little different, I guess. I'm not really sure otherwise. Interesting, I suppose. You're just going to be careful when you're hinging the arm up. You just don't want to make sure it's not going to pop off. So just want to be careful you don't lose those. The couple straps there look nice. On the forearms, you got these big like gauntlets with these discs here. I think they're like energy shields. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played the game. But adds the bulkiness and kind of uniqueness of these guys. But pretty cool. With some nice paint. And they've got some wires sculpted on them on the inside, which is kind of cool. And then you got the belt. You got like these pouches or whatnot hanging off the side. It's decently sculpted details. The legs and the boots are asymmetrical there. You got a bit of a wrap or something going on the other side, but looks pretty nice. And overall, it's a cool looking figure. Fairly unique looking. I'm always happy to add a cool looking trooper to the collection, and this one fits the bill very nicely. And like I said, I just wanted to have Kota's Militia. I think it's a really cool concept. In terms of articulation, you have a ball joint at the head, which has pretty good range of motion. Pretty good hinges at the shoulders. They move pretty far up, and you can rotate them. Single hinges at the elbows that go about 90 and rotate. Swivels at the wrists, swivel at the waist, swivel at the hips, and then ball hinge knees that don't quite go 90, and then no articulation in the ankles. Honestly, my only complaint would be no articulation in the ankles. It makes this guy a little hard to stand, especially with the weapon accessory they included with this guy. But otherwise, for its time, pretty decently articulated. Speaking of accessories, you do get the helmet, of course. You also get this little backpack. It has some nice sculpted and painted detail. It just plugs onto the back. I like how small it is. It doesn't have a large profile, which is cool. And then standing up here, you do get this big ass Gatling gun, chain gun, whatever you want to call it, which we've seen with some Clone Trooper figures before from around this era of 3 3/4 inch figures. And it's sculpted nicely, has a decent amount of gray paint on it too, which is cool. I like it. And then you can have him hold it. He holds it okay. The figure, I don't know if it's super designed to hold this type of weapon, to be honest. But you get in the hand there, and you can hold it. It's not the best because he doesn't have very broad shoulders, so it's barely resting on the shoulder there, but you can get it on. It just can be kind of a pain to get him standing on his own because the gun's pretty heavy. And he wants to tip over, and you don't get articulated ankles, which makes it very difficult, but it is doable. You kind of got to lean him back a bit, unfortunately, but there you go. Looks pretty nice. I do like this look quite a bit. Very cool. So not too much else to say, aside from, I guess, comparison, which I don't have much for. I'll just show you how he looks with his Jedi General, which is Kota here. And he goes very well with him. Would be definitely cool to see a new figure of the Kota's Militia. I don't think we ever will, but it'd be cool. But overall, I think it's a pretty solid figure. It's sculpted and painted nicely. He has decent accessories, articulates fairly well. Is it a must-have for the collection? No, of course not. It's a minor character, NPC, enemy character from the Force Unleashed video game. But if you're a fan of the Force Unleashed game, or you just like cool-looking Star Wars Trooper figures, then this is definitely one I would recommend picking up if you can find it for a decent price. I got mine for like 20 bucks Canadian, which is pretty good. I see it usually go for higher. I wouldn't pay a whole lot more than that, but yeah, it's a cool one if you're interested. So I would recommend it if you can get your hands on it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. May the Force be with you.